Is there anything such as good stress?
We must make our mind and bodies uncomfortable to a certain situation because that's how evolution happens. I'll just give a kid's example. याद है Pokemon देखते होते थे, उसमें Pikachu होता था. So whenever there was a situation where that particular Pikachu or that organism had to really give it all and had to be stressed and find a way out to fight that situation, वो विकसित हो जाता था, you know. Raichu बन जाता था. That is why I always feel कि कुछ amount of stress is important for us in bursts or in certain situations, in certain phases to certain extent, so that हम विकसित हो पाए, evolution हो पाए, and we can become stronger human beings.
Hidden things your stress is messing up. Emotional regulation नहीं है. Emotional regulation नहीं है तो क्या सबसे पहली चीज क्या खराब होती है? Relationship with others. Lot of times if we don't have control over our emotions, we kind of get disconnected or we show our anger in the wrong places. It can mess up your relationship with others. A lot of times others can't understand what you're going through. For example, for guys it's like career. Others can't understand the kind of stress we go through.
नमस्ते गाइस, माय नेम इज़ अभिनव महाजन और स्वागत है आपका एक और एपिसोड में ऑफ योर फेवरेट टॉक शो बीइंग मैन। और आज के एपिसोड में हम बात करने वाले हैं एक ऐसे टॉपिक के बारे में जो प्रॉब्ली मेरा और यश का फेवरेट टॉपिक है, बिकॉज आई थिंक वी हैव हेल्प्ड अ लॉट ऑफ आवर क्लाइंट्स विद दैट एंड वी आर स्टिल वर्किंग ऑन आवरसेल्व्स टू गेट ओवर दैट, एंड दैट इज़ स्ट्रेस। सो अगर आप सिटी पेस्ड या सिटी की फास्ट पेस्ड लाइफ कभी भी आपने एक्सपीरियंस की है तो आई एम श्योर कि दिस टॉपिक विल गिव यू अ लॉट ऑफ गोल्डन नगेट्स जो आपको हेल्प कर सकता है अपने स्ट्रेस को मैनेज करने के लिए। सो let's start the show and let's welcome Yashwardhan Swami.
What's up guys, welcome to another episode and today we would be talking about stress and guys this would help everybody. Let me tell you why. अगर आप खुद स्ट्रेस नहीं लेते तो आपके आसपास कोई तो होगा जो स्ट्रेस लेता होगा. Be it your family members, be it your friends, be it your boss, whosoever, right? So let's talk about stress and let's get to the point straight away. जनरली हम जब एपिसोड स्टार्ट करते हैं हम अपनी खुद की स्टोरी से करते हैं, बट हम मल्टीपल टाइम्स वी हैव ऑलरेडी शेयर्ड कि हमें स्ट्रेस कब हमने स्ट्रेस से डील किया है, स्पेसिफिकली इन द एपिसोड इन रिलेशन टू मेडिटेशन. वी हैव डिस्कस दैट इन डिटेल. सो लेट्स गेट टू द पॉइंट टुडे. लेट्स अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट इज स्ट्रेस. Abhinav, how do you define stress, bro?
See, in simple terms, stress is just your body's response to the outside environment or whatever you're watching or feeling from the, or whatever kind of output what kind of input you're getting from the extrinsic environment. So for me, it's just like how your body is responding to a certain situation, certain environment, to a certain person. And it's like, for me, it's like kind of, we will talk about there's good stress, there's bad stress, but overall, it's just a feeling. It's just a feeling that your body has when it goes through something which makes it uncomfortable. So that's it.
Very good definition, perfect definition of stress, because anything that is making your body uncomfortable, it's something which is not close to your body's homeostasis. That is the current internal state, and your body likes to maintain that. Right? वो maintain नहीं हो रही है because of any reason, उसकी वजह से issue आ जाता है. So now to explain this further, I would like to get back into evolution. Stress और evolution का क्या link है? Simple सा logic है. अर्ली मैन के बारे में सोचो. अर्ली मैन की लाइफ में क्या क्या टेंशन थी? या मुझे खाना नहीं मिल रहा, या मैं खुद खाना बन जाऊंगा. नो थर्ड प्रॉब्लम. खुद खाना बन जाऊंगा वॉज एसेंशियली दैट देयर माइट बी सम एनिमल हु वांट्स टू हंट और ईट मी. एंड सेकंड इज आई डोंट हैव फूड टू ईट सो आई हैव टू हंट. दो प्रॉब्लम्स थी अर्ली मैन की मेनली. उसके बेसिस पे स्ट्रेस इवॉल्व हुआ हमारी बॉडी में. दैट मीन्स उसके बेसिस पे हमने अडेप्ट किया. सो स्ट्रेस की एक कैरेक्टरिस्टिक बता देता हूँ. अर्ली मैन के लिए भी थी, अब भी है. दैट इज स्ट्रेस इज लिबरेटिंग इन नेचर. जब भी आप स्ट्रेस लेते हो काफ़ी चीज़ें होती हैं, काफ़ी रिस्पॉन्सेज होते हैं आपकी बॉडी की तरफ से, बट वन ऑफ द मेन रिस्पॉन्सेज इज दैट इट रिलीजेज ग्लूकोज इन योर ब्लड स्ट्रीम सो दैट यू हैव एनर्जी. राइट? बिकॉज ये है एवोल्यूशन के हिसाब से, अर्ली मैन के हिसाब से. अर्ली मैन नीडेड द एनर्जी, बट करंट सिनारियो में क्या है दैट स्ट्रेस हैज़ बीन डीकपल्ड विद मूवमेंट. That means that early man के लिए stress was literally या मुझे खाने के पीछे भागना है या मुझे खाना बनने से भागना है. So basically activity में वो stress का response use हो जाता था. अब नहीं होता. अब क्या, most of the stress is sedentary, that is psychological in nature. So पहले दो stressor थे, अब बहुत सारे psychological, health related, lifestyle related, social media related, boss related, job related, relationship related. So पहले और अब में डिफरेंस ये है. ऑल्सो एक और चीज़ बताता हूँ दैट बोथ स्ट्रेसर्स साइकोलॉजिकल और फिजिकल दोनों स्ट्रेसर्स के लिए आपकी बॉडी का सेम ही रिस्पॉन्स होता है. बिकॉज आपकी बॉडी को स्ट्रेस लगता है, चाहे आपको बैठे बैठे आप कोई भी चीज़ नेगेटिवली रैंडमली सोच रहे हो जो चीज़ कभी होगी भी नहीं, तो भी योर बॉडी वुड फील स्ट्रेस्ड एंड योर बॉडी वुड गेट all those responses from the body, from release in glucose to your focus increasing, to your sympathetic nervous activity increasing. And this is why I wanted to start with this, is that I want everyone to understand that ये evolution और अब में क्या difference है, and how stress has become a very big problem for us.
Right.
So Abhinav, आज की आप बता रहे थे कि today is perfect day to talk about stress. Why is that?
See, honestly, this phase of mine is actually the one where I have really experienced stress to a new level because of the increasing responsibilities. और आज इसलिए था because I think we just spoke about that कि I had a shoot today and I kept an early morning shoot. There was some back and forth with the brands, with the manager and stuff, and then I also had to call off this shoot, but then we decided we were going to do that. So there are a lot of things that were cluttered, that I was trying to figure out, and वो हो नहीं रही थी, but that was exactly why I was feeling the stress. And that's why I said as soon as I entered the room that today is actually the perfect day. And one thing that I've realized over time is that this won't go away. Like, there will be phases when you will feel less stressed and there will be phases when you will feel more stressed. But the beauty about that is that every single time I come or I enter a phase where I feel that I'm feeling too uncomfortable with certain situations, certain environment, or a certain task that I've given myself, or certain goal that I'm trying to achieve, I always find myself to be stronger in the next phase once I go through that phase. So yeah, that's about it. And other than that, I think the earliest time that I remember that I experienced stress was used to be when we had exams in school. I think वो सबसे पहला टाइम होता जब हमें स्ट्रेस के बारे में थोड़ी सिचुएशन स्ट्रेस पता लगा कि होता क्या है. एंड नहीं तो उसके अलावा तो हमें पता ही नहीं होता था. वी यूज्ड टू बी लाइक वेरी चिल मारते थे, हम तो बच्चे थे, हमें क्या पता क्या चल रहा है क्या नहीं चल रहा है. So yeah, that's it. That's why I said कि आज actually I'm having a very stressful day. That means I'm having my body is feeling very uncomfortable with whatever situation, whatever environment that I am in today. But overall things are good.
Right. That is awesome. So यहाँ ही मैं आपको circle back करना चाहता हूँ guys with an example that Abhinav is feeling stressed because of deadlines, because of brands, scripts and all that stuff. Early man होता Abhinav अभी, तो उसको ये सारी टेंशनें नहीं होती. That's why in the modern world it has become such a big problem. And like I mentioned that most people do not move a lot, so that stress starts creating issue because that stress goes unmanaged. And right now there are like thousands of ways you can get stressed, right? So that is what it is. Now let's talk about another aspect, that everyone has different stresses.
Right.
आपके लिए स्ट्रेसर अलग है, किसी पेरेंट के लिए अलग होगा, मेरे लिए स्ट्रेसर कुछ और है. लॉट ऑफ टाइम्स व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट स्ट्रेस वी एंड अप थिंकिंग कि यार मेरा स्ट्रेसर एक्चुअल स्ट्रेसर है, बाकियों का स्ट्रेसर नहीं है. सो लॉट ऑफ टाइम्स वी एंड अप saying to others or not acknowledging stress for others.
Right.
That's something which we should not do. I'll give you a very basic and a very simple example that a lot of times parents are stressed for us.
Yes.
Right. And a lot of times as children we get irritated कि यार किस चीज़ का stress ले रहे हो.
Right.
But that's something which we need to understand, that everyone has different stressors. Right. Based off their life,
right,
their personal experiences, and depending upon their stage of life.
Right.
Maybe as parents in future we would also have the same stresses.
Right.
So that's one thing which we need to keep in mind. So guys, अब बात करते हैं different kinds of stress की. First question आ जाता है, जैसे अभिनव already हल्का सा touch किया, is there anything such as good stress?
See, I always feel that stress in a limit is always good for the body. Like at the end of the day, we are humans, and as humans, we must make our mind and bodies uncomfortable to a certain situation, because that's how evolution happens. Like I'll just give a kid's example. याद है Pokemon देखते होते थे, उसमें पिकाचू होता था. So whenever there was a situation where that particular Pikachu or that organism had to really give it all and had to be stressed and find a way out to fight that situation, वो विकसित हो जाता था, you know, राइचू बन जाता था. So that is why I always feel कि कुछ amount of stress is important for us in bursts or in certain situations, in certain phases to a certain extent, so that हम विकसित हो पाए, evolution हो पाए, and we can become stronger human beings. And as I said, good stress, I came across this thing called eustress.
Yes.
You know, eustress is something that we call as good stress, and distress is something that we call as bad stress. I think it is not about eustress is good stress or distress is bad stress. I think it's a spectrum. Like there's a balance between like good stress and bad stress, and when the spectrum goes in the negative direction, where the stress actually becomes more than what your body can handle for a chronic period of time, and which causes health issues chronically over a long period of time, that becomes distress for your body. And when that stress is up to the amount where your body has a chance to actually evolve and grow, adapt, and become stronger, that is eustress.
Yes. डेफिनेटली दिस इज अ ग्रेट पॉइंटर. इस इनका सेम ही टॉपिक्स का एग्जाम्पल दिया जाए तो एग्जाम से पहले जो आपको स्ट्रेस होता है दैट मेड श्योर यू स्टडीड, राइट? सो एज लॉन्ग एज इट इज कंट्रोल्ड, इट इज अ गुड थिंग. विकसित होने में आपको हेल्प करेगा, जस्ट लाइक पिकाचू, राइट? सो इन सिंपल टर्म्स, यू स्ट्रेस इज द स्ट्रेस विच कैन बी हैंडल्ड, विच वुड काइंड ऑफ हेल्प यू इन अ पॉजिटिव वे टू इम्प्रूव योर परफॉर्मेंस. सेकेंड इज डिस्ट्रेस. डिस्ट्रेस इज जब अब आपकी परफॉर्मेंस थोड़ी सी नीचे जाने लग गई है, but it's a very temporary thing. When de-stress becomes elongated time-wise, then it becomes chronic stress कि भाई उसकी वजह से आपकी परफॉर्मेंस नीचे चले जाने स्टार्ट हो जाती है, हेल्थ भी ख़राब होनी स्टार्ट हो जाती है. एंड एक्चुअल इशू जब स्ट्रेस की बात करते हैं, यहाँ एक और चीज़ पे सर्कल बैक करूँगा कि जब भी स्ट्रेस की बात होती है हम सिर्फ सोचते हैं यार साइकोलॉजिकल स्ट्रेस. फिजिकल स्ट्रेस इज ऑल्सो समथिंग रियल विच इज रिलेटेड टू योर लाइफस्टाइल. लाइफस्टाइल में जब आपका सो नहीं रहे हो, स्ट्रेस ऐड होगा. बहुत बड़े डेफिसिट में हो, स्ट्रेस क्रिएट होगा. ट्रेन कर रहे हो, ट्रेनिंग का एग्जांपल देता हूँ यू स्ट्रेस के लॉजिक में कि अगर आप ट्रेन कर रहे हो एंड रिकवरी अच्छी हो रही है, आपके मसल्स ग्रो हो रहे हैं, दैट इज काइंड ऑफ यू स्ट्रेस. पर आप ओवर ट्रेन कर रहे हो, रिकवरी नहीं हो पा रही, हेल्थ खराब हो रही है, जॉइंट्स खराब हो रहे हैं, दैट बिकम्स डी स्ट्रेस. एंड अगर बहुत टाइम तक ये सारी चीज़ें मिलकर चले जा रही हैं, बन जाता है क्रॉनिक स्ट्रेस विच हैज़ टू बी डेल्ट विद. टॉकिंग अबाउट साइंस ऑफ स्ट्रेस, सीधा सा लॉजिक है, इट्स गुड टिल द टाइम योर बॉडी कैन हैंडल इट, इट्स गुड, बट टू मच ऑफ इट कॉजेज इशूज़. एंड थोड़ा सा अब साइंस पे आ जाता हूँ कि बेसिकली क्या क्या ख़राब कर सकती है. जब मैं इसके पॉडकास्ट के लिए नोट्स बना रहा था, मैंने सोचा था कुछ स्टडीज़ डालूंगा, बट देन आई थॉट कि इट वुड गेट बोरिंग. स्टडीज़ का एक्चुअली मेरे पास काफ़ी डेटा बेस है, बिकॉज न्यूट्रिशन जो भी कोर्सेज बनाए हैं उनमें डालते हैं. बट इंस्टेड ऑफ एडिंग स्टडीज आई जस्ट मेंशन व्हाट ऑल थिंग्स योर स्ट्रेस कैन mess up. Number one for men, testosterone, right? If you are too stressed for too long, you would a lot of times guys notice कि sex drive कम हो गई है, they don't feel good and stuff like that. That might be a sign of chronic stress. Next is it's a vasoconstrictor. That means whenever you are stressed, ओवरऑल ब्लड सप्लाई आपकी बॉडी में कम हो जाती है, जिसकी वजह से इरेक्टाइल इश्यूज भी हो सकते हैं. गाइज, इरेक्टाइल इश्यूज से रिलेटेड वी क्रिएटेड a full-fledged podcast on this last week. What was the heading? It was on,
I think it was porn and masturbation.
Yes, it was porn and masturbation addiction. Just watch it. Third is type 2 diabetes. अब type 2 diabetes आप सोचोगे कैसे होगा? जैसे मैंने आपको एपिसोड के एकदम स्टार्टिंग में बताया कि यार स्ट्रेस इज लिबरेटिंग इन नेचर. दैट मीन्स ब्लड ग्लूकोज रिलीज होता है आपकी बॉडी में, आपकी ब्लड स्ट्रीम में. बट अगर ब्लड ग्लूकोज को आप यूज़ नहीं कर रहे हो, दैट मीन्स इफ इट इज़ डीकपल्ड विद मूवमेंट, तो वो ओवर टाइम इंसुलिन रेजिस्टेंस क्रिएट होने लग जाएगी, जिसकी वजह से टाइप 2 डायबिटीज़ भी हो सकती है. नेक्स्ट इज हार्ट डिजीजेस एंड बीपी रिलेटेड इश्यूज, हाइपरटेंशन इसको इसलिए ही कहते हैं. सो कीप दैट इन माइंड. एंड लास्ट बट नॉट द लीस्ट, इन्फ्लेमेशन. सो ऑल ऑफ दीज आर लिंक्ड टू स्ट्रेस. अब एक और भी आपको इनडायरेक्ट सा वो बता देता हूँ. इफ़ यू आर टू स्ट्रेस्ड, आपकी स्लीप में सब होगी. अब स्लीप से रिलेटेड जो भी आपके हेल्थ रिलेटेड इश्यूज हो सकते हैं ड्यू टू लैक ऑफ स्लीप, वो सारे भी हो सकते हैं. For that, watch our episode on sleep. And this was a section on how scientifically too much of stress, too much of unmanaged stress, which is also called chronic stress, can mess up things for us.
Perfect, Yash. So I would just like to add some things to it. सबसे पहले, like we were talking about eustress and distress. So in a simple terms, just remember the stress that will help you to grow is like eustress, and the stress that destroys you or destroys your body or mind, whatever you want to call, it's distress. Now, when we talk about how stress can affect you, we have low testosterone, we have vasoconstrictor, type 2 diabetes done, hypertension, BP, thyroid. Sleep is another great thing that you said. Other thing is headaches and migraine. That is another thing that happens. Your performance during your workouts, like if your stress levels are chronically high, you will feel that you're not 100%. Motivated for the workouts. Even if you somehow get in that pre-workout or have that caffeine and you go into the gym, you will feel that you're not able to lift as much as you could, or aerobically you're not able to perform that cardio well. Then if you're not someone who is a fitness freak, who just wants to focus on their work, on their studies and stuff, ये सभी टास्क करते हुए you will feel that there's some energy crash in the middle of the day, and your focus and performance and productivity, it goes down. That can be one of the signs. One of the major signs that I have felt in the clients and myself is poor digestion. Like not having
very good point.
Not having proper bowel movements. It's kind of a second brain. So stress, like a lot of people, those who have this IBS issue, which is becoming very common in India now. Stress is like the number one reason that does that. Brain fog is that if your body is too sore, you have sore muscles, you're not able to recover from your workout properly. That is another one. A very simple one will be that, which I can relate to, is being, and I think Yash can also relate to, is being too irritable sometimes and frustrated at even small things. Right? So that is when we say burnout ho gaya hai, and that is when you become really stressed. Then is resting heart rate. Like this is, I think, one of the number one symptoms, or one of the number one things that you can see if your stress levels are chronically high, is your resting heart rate. So if your resting heart rate is higher than the normal, if you're someone who likes to track their stuff, so this is a great parameter that you can track if you really want to know that your stress levels are high. Are they into the eustress levels or the distress levels? So do track it for let's say 1 week and see if it is higher than the usual. So that is another thing. And then one of the things that I can relate to is stress acne. Stress actually causes acne. It increases the sebum production. That cortisol that rises, the stress hormone that rises, it increases the sebum production, and it can cause acne on your skin, like acne, breakouts, skin allergies, whatever it is. So all these are things that stress can do. And again, it is because your body is not having a chance to recover from all the stresses that you're putting it through. So that was something that I wanted to add to that.
Great pointers. सिर्फ एक चीज़ ऐड करना चाहता हूँ, जैसे digestion की जैसे बात करी, although we'll do a full episode on this, but guys keep in mind that digestion is a parasympathetic activity. That means digestion would only be optimal when you are in that calm rest and digest mode. इस पे गाइज थोड़ा सा आपको एक और भी रिकैप दे देता हूँ. आपके ऑटोनोमस नर्वस सिस्टम के 2 मोड होते हैं, एसएनएस सिंपैथेटिक नर्वस सिस्टम मोड एंड पैरासिम्पैथेटिक नर्वस सिस्टम मोड. सिंपैथेटिक नर्वस सिस्टम मोड तब होता है जब आप स्ट्रेस्ड हो, पैरासिम्पैथेटिक तब होता है जब आप काम हो. अगर आप ओवर टाइम लॉन्ग टर्म क्रॉनिक स्ट्रेस से डील कर रहे हो, उसमें क्या हो सकता है कि आपकी बॉडी की कैपेबिलिटी टू गेट बैक इनटू द पैरासिम्पैथेटिक मोड गोज डाउन, बिकॉज ऑफ विच योर डाइजेशन कैन डायरेक्टली गेट मेस्ड अप, एंड एवरीथिंग विच वी डिस्कस सो फार would be linked to that.
Yes. And also, we call our digestive system as the second brain of our body. And we will discuss this in detail, but when we talk about issues like IBS or digestive issues that people face commonly today, it's like it becomes a cycle. Like when your stress levels go high, or there's a change in your routine, or there are certain stresses in your environment that are chronically with you and you're not able to get rid of them. Firstly, your brain, it gets fatigued, right? And the stress starts affecting your neurotransmitters, the production of the hormones or your digestive enzymes, whatever call, and then your bowel movements, they can be affected. And then slowly and steadily, the stress of not having proper digestion, that gets onto you as well. That adds
vicious circle.
Yes, it becomes a vicious circle. So that becomes a vicious cycle. We'll talk about that in detail when we talk about the digestive system.
Guys, another thing which I would like to cover is that ये तो हो जाती है हेल्थ वाली बात, ये काफ़ी हद तक हमें पता भी होता है, although we don't care about these directly. I would also want to talk about hidden things your stress is messing up. One is that अभी I've already mentioned कि यार emotional regulation नहीं है. Emotional regulation नहीं है तो क्या सबसे पहली चीज़ क्या ख़राब होती है? Relationship with others. Lot of times if we don't have control over our emotions, we kind of get disconnected, or we show our anger in the wrong places. So number one is it can mess up your relationship with others, because see, you might, a lot of times others can't understand what you're going through. For example, for guys it's like career, right? others can't understand the kind of stress we go through. So we should have that capability to control stress in a way that उसकी वजह से हमारे 3 pillars होते हैं लाइफ के, हेल्थ, वेल्थ, रिलेशनशिप्स. हेल्थ भी ना खराब हो, रिलेशनशिप्स भी ना खराब हो, वेल्थ की मैं एक सेकंड में बात करता हूँ. नेक्स्ट आ जाते हैं करियर एंड आइडियाज़. इफ़ यू आर टू स्ट्रेस्ड you won't get good ideas. Abhinav, have you ever noticed कि best ideas आपको किसी भी चीज़ से related तभी आते हैं जब आप chill कर रहे होते हो kind of?
Definitely, even like I think we used to study in school that Madame Curie and even Einstein said that, and who was that? Archimedes. So all these people, they got their biggest ideas when they were in the relaxed state of mind. Madame Curie said that I was sleeping and something came and I was in the most. I was trying to work on a formula or something, and I was not able to find a solution. And one day I'm just sleeping, relaxing, and then the formula comes. Yes. The same thing happens with the this Archimedes. Archimedes, I think is his name.
I don't know.
So yeah, like I've got my best ideas, I would say, or solution to the problems that are going in my personal or professional life whenever I have been in the relaxed state or I'm meditating. We talked about in meditation as well, but yes, definitely whenever I'm stressed, I'm focusing more on the problem than the solution. Like that is one thing that I've observed.
वेरी गुड. बड़े अच्छे तरीके से सम अप किया. एंड नेक्स्ट इज गाइस, डाइट की बात करी जाए तो ऑल्दो वर्कआउट वाला एस्पेक्ट अभिनव हैज़ ऑलरेडी मेंशन्ड स्पेसिफिकली कि आपकी परफॉर्मेंस कम हो सकती है और आप ज़्यादा पुश करने की कोशिश करो तो मे बी चांसेस ऑफ इंजरीज इंक्रीज. ऑल्सो कीप इन माइंड कि आपकी डाइट भी मैसअप हो सकती है. इमेजिन लॉट ऑफ टाइम्स डाइट एंड लूजिंग वेट एंड ट्रांसफॉर्मेशंस आर अ साइकोलॉजिकल गेम, राइट? But if your brain is filled with stress in relation to other stuff, lot of times you might just lose trust in process. आप उठ के बोलो कि यार कुछ नहीं हो रहा, right? Because of which you just mess up your diet. Same goes for relationship with food. That means if you binge on food whenever you get stressed, a lot of times, whenever we onboard a client, we ask this question that do you binge on food? Do you use food as comfort to relieve stress? Most of the times the answer is yes. So if you are dealing with food, your issues in relation to binging and relationship with food and food control, ask yourself that where your stress levels are when things get messed up, right? So work on that, because a lot of times it's an emotional issue, it's not a physical issue.
Yes,
right? Physical issue भी हो सकता है बहुत cases में, but emotional issue होता है. So keep in mind that too much of unmanaged stress can mess up your transformation goals also, trust in process also, and diet, and even you, for example, you're too stressed, you won't feel like working out, right? Although that's something which you should do because that would help, and that is what.
Also, you talked about being food as comfort. This is something we call as stress eating.
Yes, stress eating.
And what happens during those times is that we don't make very smart choices in terms of whatever we are going to eat. And again that vicious cycle that comes in,
guilt आ जाता है.
वो guilt आ जाता है. फिर उसके बाद इसके लिए चलो इतना गया, अब तो सारे ही जाने दो. And then if you're starting with like let's say 1 cup of ice cream, then you're like कि चल मैं पूरे का पूरा वही खा जाता हूँ जितना भी मैं लाया हूँ. Full break खा जाते हैं. So yes, that is one thing that you need to be careful about, that chronically if your stress levels are high, as you're told, it's about understanding that there are two systems in our bodies. One is sympathetic nervous system, which is basically fight or flight response, or fight or flight system, which helps you to fight or flight a situation or take action. And then is the parasympathetic nervous system, which is the rest or digest, which helps in your bowel movements, your digestion, relaxation. So whenever in your body chronically this parasympathetic nervous system goes down, or should I say the sympathetic nervous system or this fight or flight system goes up, you are in kind of chronically stressed state, or you are in distress, and that is when these problems that we just discussed about, they start appearing.
That is awesome. Now let's talk about how stress can be fixed, right? We'll get into the favorite part of our episode soon, where we talk about our top 5 tips. But before that, I would just like to create base for that. First is how stress can be fixed. Number 1, remove the stressor. अगर आपको पता है कोई चीज़ है, कोई प्रॉब्लम है, उसको रिमूव करो, वरना डे बाय डे लॉट ऑफ टाइम्स वी हैव दिस इग्नोरेंट एटीट्यूड कि हम सोचते हैं यार कोई ना, चली जा रहा है, बट सूनर और लेटर ऐसे 3-4 अलग अलग स्ट्रेसर एड अप हो जाते हैं, तो वी काइंड ऑफ गेट फ्रस्ट्रेटेड, वी गेट बर्नड आउट व्हेन इट कम्स टू करियर और वॉट एवर. सो सिट बैक एंड आस्क योरसेल्फ, यार व्हाट इज इट विच इज हैपनिंग एवरी डे एंड विच इज बॉदरिंग मी, एंड ट्रस्ट मी, इट्स नॉट दैट डिफिकल्ट टू फिक्स दीज थिंग्स. सो स्टेप नंबर 1 शुड बी एसेंशियली remove your stressor.
Yes. So from my side, the next, the step number 2 would be, I would say, meditation. We just had a conversation about this, and I think one of the things that has helped me and that works instantly is meditation. Whenever you feel that you are stressed, meditate. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever works for you. Focus on your breathing. As I talked about in the previous episode as well, it might be, you might have different experience. Everyone might have a different experience with this particular activity or this particular thing, but meditation is something that has been researched and has been scientifically proven to calm your nervous system down, activate your parasympathetic nervous system, rest or digest system, and that is again a good thing to get your stress levels down whenever you are.
Right. Meditation pe we just recorded a full-fledged episode, and response on the episode was very good, guys. It's called meditation for beginners. Check that out. So guys, stress की जब बात हुई, जैसे मैंने आपको पहली चीज़ कही यार, स्ट्रेसर को रिमूव करो. Second और third करूँगा, then we get into the top 5.
Right.
Second would be how we look at the stress matters a lot.
Right.
That is, just improve your perception. कि अब आपको थोड़ा सा ब्रेन साइंस एवोल्यूशन पे ले जाता हूँ. आवर ब्रेन इज वायर्ड फॉर सर्वाइवल, एंड आवर ब्रेन इज वायर्ड टू फोकस ऑन द नेगेटिव सो दैट आप किसी प्रॉब्लम में ना फंस जाओ. बट लॉट ऑफ टाइम्स व्हाट हैपेंस इज दैट वी डोंट हैव थॉट कंट्रोल, एंड वी जस्ट कीप ऑन spiraling down in those thoughts. So keep in mind your brain is wired to think negatively so that you can protect yourself. But in today's world, we are relatively safe.
Yes.
But we are not safe from our own thoughts. So whenever you talk about, any stressor, just ask yourself 3 questions. Can you solve the problem or not? Yeah, I got this from Gaur Gopal Das. If the answer is yes, ask yourself the question. Ask yourself the second question. Am I taking action in the right direction or not? If the answer is yes, you don't need to worry about that. Now, back to the first question, can I solve the problem or not? If the answer is no, stress लेने से क्या फ़र्क पड़ जाएगा? Right? So, just keep in mind, if you can work on the problem, work on it and don't stress. If you cannot work on the problem, then there's no point stressing. In both logics, you should not be taking unnecessary stress. एक और चीज़ इसमें ऐड कर देता हूँ कि यार, lot of times we don't take action timely. That's why हमारा स्ट्रेस बढ़ जाता है. Exams हैं, डेडलाइन से पहले, ऑल्दो इट्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू डू. मेरे से खुद से भी, मतलब अगर मेरा खुद का भी एग्जाम होगा, मैं खुद भी लास्ट मोमेंट ही पढ़ूंगा, इवन इफ इट हैपन्स नाउ. बट इफ यू कैन वर्क दिस आउट और डेडलाइन से थोड़ा सा पहले काम करने लग जाओगे, तो काफ़ी हद तक स्ट्रेस सॉर्ट हो जाता है. ऑल्सो इसके लिए देयर इज अ साइकोलॉजिकल प्रिंसिपल विच इज कॉल्ड पार्किंसंस लॉ, दैट इफ यू गिव योरसेल्फ 3 days टू कंप्लीट a task, it would take 3 days. If you give yourself 30 days, it would take 30 days. And most of the part up you'll do in the last 10%
right.
of the time left. So deadline set करो, थोड़े पहले की करने लग जाओ, and habit set कर लो, तो that would be good. And last is that work on stress resilience. एक कॉन्सेप्ट बताना चाहूँगा जिसको कहते हैं विंडो ऑफ टॉलरेंस. सो हमारी हर किसी की स्ट्रेस की एक विंडो ऑफ टॉलरेंस है. उससे ऊपर चले जाता है स्ट्रेस तो हम हाइपर अराउज हो जाते हैं, उससे नीचे चले जाता तो हम हाइपो अराउज होते हैं, बेसिकली कम अराउज्ड है. तो 2 तरीके, या तो आप स्ट्रेस को इस हिसाब से मैनेज करो कि आप विंडो ऑफ टॉलरेंस के अंदर रहो. दूसरा तरीका है कि आप विंडो ऑफ टॉलरेंस को वाइड कर दो. वो कैसे होती है विंडो ऑफ टॉलरेंस वाइड? बाय वर्किंग ऑन स्टफ. आई विल जस्ट टच अपॉन द वर्ड्स हेयर because I think in the next section we'll be discussing them in detail. Number 1, regular workouts. Next is cardio, fixing deficiencies, sleep, cold exposure, work breaks. And this is how you widen the window of tolerance. And Abhinav, do you want to add anything to this?
Yes. So because we are talking about perspective, there's a very simple technique that I started using for myself, and that is what I always give to my clients. बहुत simple चीज़ है. Of course we have the 3-step formula here as well as Yash shared. But if you just want to start with the simplest perspective that can help you to get down your stress levels, anxiety, panic attacks, whatever you want to call it, it's my theory is कि कोई चीज़ आपको छू रही है असल में, just check that. Like if you are getting stressed or anxious or there's a kind of panic attack in this कि हाँ पता नहीं मेरी डेडलाइन मिस हो जाएगी, उसके बाद मेरा बॉस मुझे बाहर से निकाल देगा, करियर मेरा ख़राब हो जाएगा, वो लड़की मुझे छोड़ के चली जाएगी. In this moment is something really touching you. ask yourself that question again and again, and then over a period of time it becomes practice, and 99.9% of times you will find that nothing is touching you right now, nothing is affecting you. Now we talked about a lot of practical things, Yash, here, but I have a very simple technique जो मैं खुद के लिए यूज़ करता हूँ, अपने क्लाइंट्स को बताता हूँ when they say कि मुझे ना स्ट्रेस फील होता है कई बार, मुझे पैनिक अटैक होता है, उसके बाद मुझे एंक्शियस फील होता है, and then I take wrong decisions or I burst on someone, yeah, I just feel very uncomfortable. And it is a theory that one of my friends gave to me, and then I have practiced it from a long time, and that is a simple thing. Is something really touching you? Whatever situation you are, if you are feeling stressed right now, ask yourself this question: क्या चीज़ मुझे सही में कोई चीज़ छू रही है? Is something really harming me physically in reality, or is it just my imagination? Like, just ask that simple question.
Very good.
Over a period of time, what you will realize is 99% of times the answer will be no. And over a period of time, you would have, through neuroplasticity, you would have convinced your mind, and you would have built that habit of अंडरस्टैंडिंग कि जो भी आपको चीज़ स्ट्रेस दे रही है उस टाइम पे, या यू आर फीलिंग बर्नड आउट, यू आर फीलिंग एंक्शियस, यू आर फीलिंग इरिटेबल, असल में आपको कोई हार्म नहीं हो रहा है. इट इज़ ऑल योर थॉट्स, ऑल योर इमेजिनेशन, एंड दैट विल हेल्प यू टू जस्ट गेट अ पर्सपेक्टिव, बिकॉज पर्सपेक्टिव इज़ व्हाट वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट. सो before you start practicing any of the practical steps that we are going to talk about in the next section, just make sure that you are always having that perspective कि क्या चीज़ सही में आपको कोई नुकसान पहुंचा रही है इस टाइम पे. अगर नहीं पहुंचा रही, there is your answer. Just calm down, take deep breaths, शांत हो जाओ, right? And then over a period of time you will realize कि you have actually become good at this. So अगली बार जब ऐसी कोई सिचुएशन आएगी, आपका माइंड पहले से तैयार होगा वो पर्सपेक्टिव पे जाने के लिए, and you will be better primed to face that situation in a appropriate manner.
इसमें एक और चीज़ मेंशन करूँगा कि बहुत अच्छा पॉइंटर है. लॉट ऑफ टाइम्स हम सोचते हैं यार, स्पेशली दोज हु हैव बीन स्ट्रेसिंग ओवर स्टफ सिंस मंथ्स एंड ईयर्स, ओवर थिंकिंग की आदत है एंड स्टफ लाइक दैट, हम सोचते हैं कि यार दिस वुडंट वर्क. जस्ट ब्रूट फोर्स इट, राइट? ब्रूट फोर्स करना स्टार्ट करो. ये थॉट को बस एक बार लिख लो, चाहे एक सेंटेंस लिख लो, इज इट फिजिकली हार्मिंग मी? Just do that 3-4 times, and over time क्या होगा कि automatically better this would keep on becoming stronger via neuroplasticity, and then you'll change the game.
Yes.
Right? So don't think कि stress से हार के ना बैठ जाओ कि भाई मैं तो हूँ ही ऐसा, मेरा brain है ही ऐसा. Right? So keep that in mind, because wiring सबकी ऐसी है. बिकॉज वही एवोल्यूशन वाली बात आ गई, अभिनव की बात फिजिकली टचिंग वाली बात आ गई. एवोल्यूशन हमारा फिजिकल टच से फिजिकली बचाने के लिए बना हुआ है.
बिकॉज स्ट्रेस हमारा शुरू से ऐसे ही हुआ था कि मुझे कोई एनिमल ना मार दे, या कोई और ट्राइब से आके ले जाए, या मेरे बच्चों को या मेरी बीवी को या मेरे फैमिली को कोई हार्म ना कर दे. तो स्ट्रेस सारा इवॉल्व इधर से ही हुआ है कि कोई आके हमें मार ना दे. लाइक सर्वाइवल के स्ट्रेस is सबसे बड़ा स्ट्रेस. रिलेशनशिप्स, इट इज़ अ स्ट्रेसफुल थिंग, बट इट इज़ नॉट अ सर्वाइवल स्ट्रेस. बट सर्वाइवल स्ट्रेस इज द बिगेस्ट स्ट्रेस. तो एक्चुअल में देखो कि सही में कोई आके चीज़ तुम्हें मार रही है, नहीं मार रही है, तो जस्ट काम डाउन एंड जस्ट मूव ऑन.
Awesome. Now time to get to the best part of the episode. Although पूरा episode अच्छा होता है, but this is our favorite. Top 5 tips and strategies for stress management. Let's start with Abhinav.
आई थिंक पिछले वाले जो सेक्शन था उसमें मैं थोड़ा आगे निकल गया व्हेन आई टॉक्ड अबाउट मेडिटेशन, बट एनीवेज लाइक वी विल स्टार्ट विद I'll start with the first thing that I would like to start with when any of my client comes to me and they tell me मुझे बहुत stress feel हो रहा है, I would be like, fix your sleep. Fix a nighttime routine, fix a morning routine, fix your sleep, no matter what you have to do, no matter what supplementations you have to get into, no matter what kind of routine you have to follow, discipline, fix your sleep. Like sleep, हम battery हैं, right? We are just like a battery. We are recharging, we are discharging, we are recharging, we are discharging. And stress is something that discharges you, right? And battery जब discharge होती रहे, recharge हुए बिना, तो क्या होगा उसका? It will खत्म हो जाएगा, उसकी लाइफ खत्म हो जाएगी, राइट? एंड दैट इज़ वाई इन टुडेज वर्ल्ड, जहाँ पे एक्चुअल में कोई एनिमल्स या कोई ट्राइब्स आके हमें मार नहीं रही हैं, वी आर स्टिल गेटिंग ओल्डर देन आवर एज. लाइक आई कैन सी माई सेल्फ, आई हैव वाइट हेयर इन, आई एम 33 and I am having white hair. I see my clients, they are getting bald. मतलब it is a very normal thing to understand and normal thing to observe कि सब कुछ ना होने के बावजूद भी, और आशुदा से सब कुछ होने के बावजूद भी, we are getting older and we are aging fast. That means our batteries are actually becoming dead before the time. Okay, and sleep is the time, the most anabolic window. Those 8 hours, 7 to 8 hours that we keep on telling our clients to, get into. That is the time when you recharge the most. So no matter what happens, please go and watch our episode on sleep. We have given tons of information as to how you can fix your sleep, even morning routine, nighttime routine, whatever you want to do. But if you are feeling stressed and if you feel that you're chronically stressed, please fix your routine, fix your sleep, and it will do wonders for you.
This is a great pointer, and keep in mind, guys, when you are stressed, stress is kind of anti-sleep.
Yes.
Keep in mind, वही early
Fight
man
or
को उस पे आ
flight,
जाओ
yes.
कि early man को animal खाने आ रहा है और
Yes.
early man को नींद आ रही है.
Yes.
That is not possible, right? But you need to work against that. अब आप ये ना सोच के बैठ जाओ कि ओके कोई ना नींद नहीं आएगी. You need to prioritize. जब स्ट्रेस वाला पीरियड है, मतलब आपने डबल प्रायोरिटाइज करना है स्लीप को. इतनी स्ट्रैटेजीज हमने आपको दी हैं बीइंग मैन एपिसोड ऑन स्लीप पे. एंड लेट्स गेट टू माय फर्स्ट पॉइंटर, दैट इज रिमूव द स्ट्रेसर. एंड हाउ डू यू रिमूव द स्ट्रेसर? Guys, keep in mind you have to remove the root cause of the stressor, not the trigger, right? Because lot of times जब आप stress हो रहे हो, irritate हो रहे हो, आप trigger की वजह से हो रहे हो, root cause की वजह से नहीं हो रहे हो. Example देता हूँ, आपको आपके बॉस ने काम दी है and you're getting stressed because of that. No, you're not stressed because of work, you're stressed because of the deadline and जो हमारी आदत है end moment पे काम करने की. So keep it in mind that always whenever you are getting stressed over the same thing again and again, ask yourself ki yaar, what is the root cause? Why am I getting stressed? Why am I feeling uncomfortable? Right? And just segregate the trigger and the root cause. Find the root cause and ask yourself, can I fix it? If you can, work on it. If you can't fix it, don't stress over it. Right? Just accept it. Right. A lot of times perception and acceptance can help right. it. So start with removing the stressor. Common sense advice hai ye, but common sense is not common. And Abhinav, next pointer.
Perfect. I would say your body alignment. So this was something that I observed in a lot of my clients. A lot of people today are having neck health issues, cervical, spondylitis. This is becoming very common. And posture and your body alignment is one thing that has been researched a lot recently. And what they have found out is कि आपकी body alignment का आपकी overall biochemistry, physiology, production of hormones, आपके digestion, your thoughts, neurotransmitter production, everything, your total nervous system, it has a huge effect on that. And if your body alignment is not right, especially if you're someone who's having these cervical issues and stuff, that means your body is already in pain all the time. So that is another thing that I would like someone to get checked if they are facing issues. Let's say they are having lower back pain issues, if they're having hip issues, if they're having neck pain issues. I would suggest to get those fixed, because those are again a great trigger for high stress, high amounts of stress.
This is a great pointer. मैंने recently stress पे course किया था, उसमें इस चीज़ समझाई थी. And the logic is that it's a hypothesis. इतना detail मैंने नहीं पढ़ा हुआ. But this kind of posture is parasympathetic in nature. And if you are in a very hunched posture,
attack mode.
Yes, and you would be in attack mode, and your body would not be able to enter the parasympathetic nervous system mode. So it's a dual loop. कि अगर posture आपका sorted है, तो आप पैरासिम्पैथेटिक में एंटर कर सकते हो, नहीं है तो नहीं कर सकते.
So I do a lot of yoga. So they use a lot of these terms of yin and yang, right? And yang are mostly the activities of go-getter, fight or flight, and this and that. And yin is more of the relaxation activity. So whenever there is a lot of yang activities, it's mostly the forward movements, forward bending, chadurangas and stuff like that, in which you're preparing for attack mode. And the same thing, warriors in the previous time when they were kings and empires, so they used to practice this yang yoga, the power yoga that we call, and उसमें posture जो हमारा आगे होता है. And yin yoga is more about laid back, relaxing, and where your posture is more open up. So you need to balance both. So if you're someone who has hunched back, forward neck posture issues, rounded shoulder issues and stuff, there might be a possibility that the stress that you're feeling, of course it is due to the triggers and your boss deadlines or whatever you want to call it, but your posture also has a role to play. So probably you would like to do more activities which have the yang element, as I said, more of the back bending movements, chakras, opening up your shoulders and everything. Again, I don't talk about chakras because we don't have proper Chakrasan.
Chakrasan would be kind of...
Yeah, I don't know all the names. I'm not that expert in yoga, but I do know some basics about it. So उसमें you can do a lot of bending movements, defensive movements that we call, कि हर time attack नहीं करना. So in yoga they have a symbolism कि जो भी activities या जो भी movement या जो भी poses हम आगे को होके कर रहे हैं, like we are bending forward, those are more of the attack mode that prepare you for the attack mode in life. And the poses that you do where you are bending backwards and stuff, that gets you into that defensive mode and that yang mode more. So
Very
that is something you can start including more yang postures, or I'll put up a link in the description for a yang or a yoga. Sorry, yin activities.
Right. So yin है relaxing activities.
Yes.
Defense mode.
मैंने थोड़ा mix कर
Right.
दिया था बीच
और
में.
yang है attack
Yang
mode.
is more like the attack mode.
Focus and attack mode.
Yes.
Guys, keep in mind, जैसे ये attack mode जैसे ये चीजें होगी, ये सारी चीजें focus में आपको improve कर रहे हैं. Imagine you are looking at your screen. If you want to focus, you want to be in that kind of posture, right? Although it's not, staying there for 8 hours every day is not healthy.
Yes.
But keep in mind, that's helping you focus. That's why most people who have a desk job have kind of this kind of posture, right? Because your body is focusing. But again, 8 घंटे आप दिन में कर रहे हो, तो that's too much, right?
Don't become a complete slave. Like we are all almost we are all our slaves. We are always into this. We are prepared to be slaves since our childhood, right?
Yes.
And sometimes it's good to feel like a king and just lay back and be like, I don't give a damn about whatever is happening. We'll talk about that in the next point.
Right. Next pointer for me is improve your lifestyle practices. Generally क्या होता है जब stress management की बात होती है, सिर्फ lifestyle practices की बात होती है. The good part is that last 40 minutes हमने literally we did not talk about a lot of lifestyle practices so far. So number 1 is breathing practice. 3 टाइप ऑफ ब्रीदिंग की बात करता हूँ. सबसे बेसिक है कि आपका एक्सेल लॉन्गर होना चाहिए. दैट इज पैरासिम्पैथेटिक इन नेचर. दैट मीन्स व्हेन यू ब्रीथ आउट आराम से, तो लॉन्गर एक्सेल. ये इट्स द सिंपलेस्ट वे टू गेट इन दैट पैरासिम्पैथेटिक नर्वस सिस्टम मोड. नेक्स्ट इज अ फॉर्म ऑफ ब्रीदिंग विच इज कॉल्ड बॉक्स ब्रीदिंग. बॉक्स ब्रीदिंग इज यू इनहेल फॉर 4 seconds, होल्ड फॉर 4 seconds, exhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, and you repeat. Right? 4, you hold for 4, exhale for 4, and hold for 4, and you repeat. इसमें क्या है, in the end आपकी awareness भी improve हो रही है. You're giving enough time to all activities. Last but not the least, 4-7-8 breathing method. In this, you breathe in for 4 seconds, you hold for 7 seconds, and exhale for 8 seconds. Right? Great for pre-sleep. I think हमने sleep वाले lecture में भी, podcast में भी discuss किया था ये. नेक्स्ट इज ब्रीदिंग प्रैक्टिसेस के बाद आ जाता है कार्डियो. गाइस, कार्डियो इज अ हॉर्मेटिक स्ट्रेसर. दैट मीन्स ये आपकी विंडो ऑफ टॉलरेंस को बढ़ा रहा है, बॉडी की स्ट्रेस रेजिलियंस को इम्प्रूव कर रहा है. सो कार्डियो ऐड करो. नो मैटर वेट ट्रेनिंग एटसेट्रा इज ऑल्सो कूल. Any form of exercise is cool if you are not exercising right now, but specifically adding cardio can help. Again, keep in mind, overdo करोगे तो भी issue create होगा. Next, lifestyle practice आ जाती है meditation. Already discussed. Abhinav has already covered this in detail, and हमने being men का पूरा episode कर लिया इस पे. Next is simplest activity of all, slow walks. Slow walking around your meals or any time whenever you're feeling stressed. Slow walking is kind of, running is sympathetic in nature.
Right.
So when you're slowly walking, your body is like, okay, I'm in a chill mode, can help. Last but not the least, stretching. Although indirectly हमने योगा के फॉर्म में ऑलरेडी कवर कर लिया है. स्ट्रेचिंग करो, ट्राई टू डू इट प्री स्लीप, आफ्टर वर्क, and stretching can change the game. One thing which I've
again
seen
the yin
Abhinav,
activity.
One thing which I've seen Abhinav do is whenever we have a break between our podcasts, Abhinav is literally always stretching, always stretching. So that helps his posture and stuff like that also.
In yoga, they say that if you sit too long in one place, there's energy flow that gets restricted. So it's good to stretch and let that energy flow through you. So again, I don't know if it's
नहीं, इस पे है, इस पे आप इसको थोड़ा साइंस वाले इस पे करोगे तो आपका lymphatic system
we'll have a special episode where we can talk about these things also.
So guys, scientific फिर भी बता देता हूँ कि when you are moving, you are stimulating a lymphatic nervous system mode, which is kind of a detoxification pathway for your body. Good for immunity, good for detoxification. That's why you should be moving.
Brilliant.
Right?
Perfect. Okay, so the next would be taking a day off from technology and artificial light at least once a week or once a month, whatever allows you. See, at the end of the day, we call it dopamine detox, right? Now the issue is that, as we said, it is not the body that is being harmed on a physical level, which is creating a lot of stress. Like, it is not कि आप gym बहुत ज़्यादा लगा रहे हो, इसकी वजह से आपके ऊपर stress आ रहा है. It's mostly because of the work, the screens, the artificial light, and we all know the artificial light, the harm of the artificial light, that how harmful it can become if we are persistent with it and if we use it chronically. So one of the best techniques that I've found for myself is and for the clients is ki just have a day off from the technology as much as possible. So if your screen time used to be let's say 7 hours, 8 hours. Try to have a day where you are just, it's a Sunday, you know, no one is working. Just try to have a day where you have just 1 hour of screen time. It will immensely improve your mood, improve your recovery. एंड सबसे मुश्किल चीज़ है आज की डेट में ये कहना कि आप ये करो, बिकॉज सबकॉन्शियसली हमारी आदत बन चुकी है कि बस बोर हो रहे हो तो फ़ोन उठा लो, देख लो इंस्टाग्राम पे क्या चल रहा है, क्या हो रहा है. एंड हमें लग रहा है कि हम बोर हो रहे हैं एंड इट्स अ वेरी हार्मलेस एक्टिविटी, बट इफ़ यू रियली रियलाइज यू आर somehow stimulating dopamine.
Dopamine is sympathetic in nature.
Yes, dopamine is sympathetic because it motivates you to do stuff, right? So the more dopamine and the more saturated you become, you want more dopamine, and now you look out for more activities that can help you to get even more dopamine. But again, at the same time, you're not letting your body relax or rejuvenate or rest. So that is why I think one day at least a week, or probably a month, whatever your schedule allows, take a day off from technology, artificial light, whatever you can.
Yes, this is a great pointer. इसका बड़ा अच्छा हैक है, एलेक्स और मोजी से सीखा था. ही इज़ लाइक दैट आई माई सेल्फ फील एडिक्टेड टू स्क्रोलिंग डाउन द रील्स, बट मैं अपने फ़ोन को ही ग्रे स्केल में कर देता हूँ. सो ब्लैक एंड वाइट हो जाता है. सो अकॉर्डिंग टू हिम ही वाज लाइक कि यार कोई इशू ही नहीं आ रहा है एज सच. आई मीन आई डोंट फील लाइक वॉचिंग रील्स बिकॉज सारे ब्लैक एंड वाइट हो गया.
That is also a good thing, but I think sometimes it's good to just take your phone and lock it.
बहुत डिफिकल्ट है, बहुत डिफिकल्ट है.
मैंने किया हुआ.
Even if I think about myself, I can't do it.
I was watching, and this is something I found in reel. So I was watching this one of the reels. So there's a device जिसमें आप अपना फ़ोन रखो एंड उस पर कुछ आई थिंक टाइमर लग जाता है एंड लॉक हो जाता है, एंड वो उतने टाइम से पहले इट डजेंट ओपन अप. जो मर्जी कर लो आप, इट डजेंट ओपन अप. सो दिस वाज समथिंग दैट आई स्टार्टेड डूइंग एंड इट हेल्प्स मी टू एन एक्सटेंट कि आई विल टेक माई फ़ोन, I'll go downstairs, I'll put it in the car, I'll come upstairs, I'll put a timer कि चलो 4 घंटे अब मैं फ़ोन को हाथ नहीं लगाऊंगा. And I avoid कि TV भी मत देखूँ. That helps me to just get those dopamine levels on a normal level. But if you're someone जिसको बहुत ही ज़्यादा दिक्कत आती है, give your phone to your mom, give your phone to your dad, give your phone to the friend, and just tell them कि मुझे 3 घंटे 4 घंटे तक मत देना. It's the easiest thing that you can do, and I'm sure like over a period of time when you will repeat it, just like a month if you will do this once every week, you will start feeling much better.
I'll give you another hack. A good friend of mine does it. So वो क्या करता है कि Instagram weekdays में delete कर देता है. कहता है मैं सिर्फ weekend पे देखूंगा, and he's like कि it's no, मेरे को कोई issue नहीं आ रहा है. मतलब I mean I don't feel like using the phone because it's deleted, और वापस reinstall करने के लिए फिर भी थोड़ी मेहनत करनी पड़ती है. So guys, next pointer आ जाता है bullet proof your nutrition and micronutrition. पहली चीज़ तो है कि nutrition वाले episode पे देख लेना कि सारे macronutrients होने चाहिए enough. But here I would specifically want to talk about carbohydrates. Carbohydrates को generally लोग काफ़ी demonize करते हैं, but carbohydrates can actually help you enter the parasympathetic nervous system mode. It's good, but again it's not the best solution. But once in a while it can be used. So basically whenever you are having carbohydrates, insulin spike होता है, जिसकी वजह से tryptophan pathway and release of serotonin becomes optimal. So this can help in two things. Number one, help you relax. जैसे dopamine हमने आपको बताया sympathetic in nature है. Serotonin is kind of parasympathetic in nature. So it kind of makes you drowsy. A lot of times आपने notice किया होगा कि यार खाना खाया अभी, carbs खाए काफ़ी, rice खाए काफ़ी, now feeling drowsy. That's because of the serotonin pathway. Right. That's one aspect. Another thing which happens is whenever insulin is being spiked,
right.
Insulin is antagonist to cortisol in nature. जो आपका ये stress hormone है, और इंसुलिन बढ़ता है तो स्ट्रेस हार्मोन नीचे जाता है. बट कितने टाइम के लिए हो रहा है, ये थोड़ा इसमें कैविएट है. कैविएट ये है कि अगर आप इसको एज अ सोल्यूशन यूज़ करते रहोगे, एंड इफ़ यू आर नॉट फिक्सिंग द एक्चुअल इशू विच इज कॉजिंग स्ट्रेस, कैन बी योर लाइफ स्टाइल और साइकोलॉजिकल और वट एवर, दिस कैन कॉज इशूज. Another thing which I would like to mention is that carbs at night can actually help with sleep, because serotonin, the same serotonin pathway, serotonin can be converted into melatonin. At night it is beneficial, it can help with sleep. Also, food and supplements that can help with stress management. Number one, magnesium deficiency है तो it would work like wonders for you. Next is zinc. Both of them can actually help us improve sleep also. Next is ashwagandha. Ashwagandha क्या करता है, cortisol को buffer करता है. So long term it's not a very good strategy, but short term it's awesome to use. Next is theanine. It's an amino acid, and theanine also kind of calms us down. Recently I've got me a product with theanine. Last episode पे हम पी रहे थे, and that's my next pointer.
I also wrote some supplements. I think the same ones: zinc, magnesium, ashwagandha, theanine. One is the valerian root extract. That is something you can explore. Yes. And then I, as I said, like I was having a very stressful day. So any form of relaxing tea, herbal tea like chamomile tea or probably tulsi brahmi tea, something like that can help you. It might just act as a symbol, as उसका कुछ ज़्यादा benefit आपको scientifically ना मिल पाए, ज़्यादा literature ना मिल पाए, but just using something as a symbol that will actually relieve your stress helps to get that placebo effect as well. So these are the few things that you can try, right? Okay, so next would be massages. Like this is something that I feel it is
it's proven.
Proven. Full body massages, head massage, foot massage, and having some intimate kind of activity at night with your partner, with your girlfriend, or if girls are watching with your boyfriends and stuff. So these are proven to be very relaxing. They activate your parasympathetic nervous system and help you to relax. So if you're having a hard day and you feel that things are going haywire and you want to break someone's head, go to a salon, get a head massage, get a foot massage, or a full body massage. I always recommend get a full body massage at least once a month. Avoid having a deep tissue massage. It actually sometimes it can aggravate that stress level. So gentle massages, full body massages can help you out. And as I said, any form of sexual activity, if you're feeling stress, has been proven to actually reduce stress.
Yes, because जैसे हमने पिछले एपिसोड में भी एक्चुअली डिस्कस किया कि ejaculation के बाद डोपामिन गोज डाउन, राइट?
प्रोलैक्टिन,
बट उसके हमने पिछले एपिसोड में पैराडॉक्सिकली हमने उसके हार्म्स डिस्कस करे. बट अगेन गाइस, इट्स ऑल अबाउट बैलेंस इन द एंड. वी हैव टू क्रिएट मॉडरेशन एंड बैलेंस इंस्टेड ऑफ एब्सिस्टेंस. सो माय नेक्स्ट पॉइंटर इज ऑलरेडी कवर हो चुका है, बुलेट प्रूफ योर स्लीप, मॉर्निंग रूटीन, प्री स्लीप रूटीन, कट आउट योर कैफीन 12 hours. टुडे आई एम डूइंग दैट. At 11 a.m. last cup of coffee. Man abhi bhi kar raha tha पीने का. But I know that if I have to work a lot, I have to sleep well. Right? So work on your sleep because that would help improve your window of tolerance. Window of tolerance अगर आपकी sleep messed up है तो कम होती जाएगी, workout नहीं कर रहे हो, और कम होती जाएगी, nutrition messed up है और कम होती जाएगी, और फिर आप hyper arousal state पे आ जाओगे और उससे hyper arousal में. So इसमें एक और चीज़ बता देता हूँ. Hyper arousal is totally fine, but अगर आप over time hyper arousal state में रह रहे हो तो आपकी बॉडी काइंड ऑफ एज अ डिफेंस मैकेनिज्म आपको हाइपो मोड पे ले आती है. दैट्स व्हाई लॉट ऑफ टाइम्स वी फील द बर्न आउट, कुछ करने का मन नहीं करता, एंड स्टफ लाइक दैट.
Definitely. And the next would be social interactions. This is something that I felt works wonderfully, and it is something that easily helps you out to get out of any kind of stress mode. Feeling stressed, call a friend. If you're feeling stressed, let's say because of your work, or relationship, call a friend. Don't talk about that work or relationship that is making stress. Just distract yourself, right? Or that is why there's Saturdays and Sundays in the corporate world that Monday to Friday पूरा stressed. उसके बाद हो जाओ बिल्कुल ऐसे chill mode आ जाओ, right? So whenever you feel stressed, another easiest way that you can find out is to just call a friend, right? Or probably plan a good night out, go watch a movie, have a good dinner. This is the easiest and the simplest thing to do. So social interaction, at the end of the day, we are social animals, and there are a lot of hormones that are released which actually relax you when you have good amount of social interaction. Just don't interact with someone which you don't like or they don't like you.
Chill करना है basically.
कम करना है. So hormones like the oxytocin, the serotonin, all these hormones which are the feel good hormones or the relaxing hormones, they are easily made in your body when you have good interaction, fun interaction, relaxing interaction with another human, And in the spiritual world, they say exchanging energies, good energies. Whenever you exchange good energies with someone, so if I'm having a stressful day, I come to Yash and I start talking about something which is not connected to my work, and we start flowing and we are sharing good energies. He wants good for me, I want good for him. Suddenly you will find that all your problems, they fade away, and all you are into this moment and you're relaxing. So having a good social support, good social circle can help you.
दिस इज़ अ ग्रेट पॉइंट. एक और चीज़ ऐड करना चाहूँगा, ऑल्दो मैंने अपने पॉइंटर्स में कहीं भी दूर दूर तक सोशल वाला किया नहीं, बट एक और चीज़ ऐड करूँगा कि लॉट ऑफ टाइम्स शेयरिंग थिंग्स with your friends, family, loved ones, those who want the best for you, because you would at times you would have people who kind of get happy when things get messed up, right? So कुछ बंदे होते हैं जिनका आपको पता है कि यार दिस पर्सन इज माई रियल वेल विशर, स्पेशली फैमिली, पेरेंट्स, लव्ड वंस, क्लोज फ्रेंड्स. उनके साथ शेयर करने से भी बहुत बार क्या प्रॉब्लम सॉर्ट हो सकती है, आपको डिफरेंट पर्सपेक्टिव मिल सकता है. लॉट ऑफ टाइम्स स्पेशली फॉर विमेन, feeling heard is kind of brings a lot of solutions to their life and they feel much
Yes.
better.
Yes.
So talking about my last pointer, thought download. So ये बेसिकली एक टेक्निक है, लाइफ कोचिंग में कई कई बारी मैं यूज़ करता हूँ. बहुत बंदे इसको डिसरिगार्ड कर देते हैं, बट इट्स अ लेजेंडरी टेक्निक. करना क्या, आपने कुछ नहीं करना है, खाली पेज लो एंड जो भी थॉट्स आ रही हैं, रैंडम, अच्छी बुरी, व्हेन यू आर नॉट फीलिंग गुड, जस्ट राइट एवरी थॉट डाउन. बट आपका गोल रहेगा कि आपने एक पूरा फुल पेज फिल करना है. जो भी थॉट्स आ रही है, जज मत करो खुद को. ये ना करो कि सिर्फ अच्छी थॉट्स लिखनी है. कुछ भी आ रहा है, रैंडम थॉट्स आ रही हैं, ये वो A to Z, 10 मिनट लो, पूरा पेज भर दो.
राइट.
उसके बाद उस पेज पे आपने क्या करना है, यू हैव टू सर्कल ऑल ऑफ योर फैक्ट्स. कि सर्कल करो फैक्ट्स. फैक्ट क्या होता है कि सन राइजेज इन द ईस्ट, सेट्स इन द वेस्ट, राइट? दैट्स अ फैक्ट. सो जो बात आपको पता है कि यार ये एक्चुअल में ट्रू है, विद एविडेंस, उस चीज़ को सर्कल करो. सो व्हेन यू सर्कल द फैक्ट्स, यू विल एक्चुअली रियलाइज कि यार जो आपको 80% प्रॉब्लम्स हैं, दे आर नॉट फैक्ट्स, दे आर जस्ट योर थॉट्स, राइट? So let me recap this for you. You write all of your thoughts down, you circle the facts, and once you circle them, you realize कि यार 80% of these are just my negative thoughts, right? जब ये आपको पर्सपेक्टिव मिलता है, आपका स्ट्रेस ऑटोमेटिकली 80% कम आ जाता है. एंड व्हेन यू नो फैक्ट्स, यू कैन एक्ट इन अ बेटर मैनर एंड यू कैन स्ट्रैटेजाइज और वर्क टूवर्ड्स थिंग्स इन अ बेटर मैनर. एंड दैट एक्चुअली हेल्प्स अस circle back to our evolution, that we are wired for thinking negative, but we need to control it.
Right. Perfect. And I think we are done. The last pointer I would just like to add into this, I think it's a very basic one. It's music, relaxing music. This is something that I have felt that works for me wonderfully. If I'm feeling stressed or if I'm having a bad day, I'll just put on my earphones and I'll put on mantra or Shiv song, relaxing Shiv song, and it just works wonderfully. Like within like 10-15 minutes I'm relaxed and I can start focusing back on my things. Or have a quick nap. That is also something that helps. You can have a quick nap if you feel that your stress levels are very high. Immediately, like a power nap, that's what they say, like have a power nap, put on the music, have a power nap, works wonderfully, right? There's something known as binaural beats as well that comes. You can use them for sleep, stress relief, whatever problems you're facing, you will find different kinds of versions over there. And I think that's it. I think we are sorted.
I would like to add one thing.
Yeah, sure.
एक चीज़ होती है जिसको कहते हैं नॉन स्लीप डीप रेस्ट, NSDR. इट्स काइंड ऑफ लाइक मेडिटेशन, बट इट्स इन यू डोंट फोकस ऑन थिंग्स, राइट? सो बेसिकली लेट के होता है, 20 मिनट्स का ऑडियो होता है, एंड्रयू ह्यूबरमैन का बहुत अच्छा ऑडियो है. यू कैन अप्लाई दैट ऑल्सो. इट्स समवॉट लाइक मेडिटेशन बट नॉट एग्जैक्टली मेडिटेशन. फॉर सम NSDR वर्क्स लाइक क्रेजी. आज तक मैंने 2 बार ट्राई किया है. वेरी कूल, 10 से 15 मिनट. एंड बाइनॉरल बीट्स ऑलरेडी कवर्ड, म्यूजिक ऑलरेडी कवर्ड, एंड दैट इज ऑल.
All right, guys, I hope we hope you learned a lot about stress management, and you will be able to manage your stress in a better manner, and you will improve the quality of your life by watching this episode. And we're going to see you soon in the next video. Till next time, keep going, keep growing stronger.
And guys, you can press the subscribe button if you want to, if you're getting value out of this. Also, guys, questions are always welcomed in the comment section, and requests for topics, because we are on a mission to improve lives for men and women also. But special focus is on men, because that's kind of unheard. That's kind of undiscussed in our society today. So if there's any request or something like that, reach out to us. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Take care.
Bye.